I'm going to play the first part of the theme from the movie A Man and a Woman. I'll be playing chord with melody, and after I'm done, I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm on my Riptide ukulele, playing with a low G. Let's start out by taking a look at the chords we use. We're going to use quite a few major 7 chords when we play this song. We start with this one. It's a C major 7, just with this one finger right here on fret 2. C major 7. And then the next chord is a B7 you might recognize. It looks like this. If you don't recognize it, you'll probably recognize this, A7. So what we do is just put our finger in back of it to make the bar and go up 2 frets. Then we go to another major 7 chord, but this time it's made like this. This is that funny chord that it's like every finger is spread out across the frets. So that's another position for major 7. And then we proceed on to this chord. And actually, these next 3 chords are part of what we call the major pattern, and we study this in workbook number 1 in the B shapes. So if you have the workbook number 1, you'll recognize this. E minor 7, and it's going to this chord, which is a 13. These they go together in one of our common major patterns. So this is a very familiar sound that we run across all the time in jazz standards. And then it's followed by this major 7. So it's another shape for major 7 here. And you'll see how I've got my finger on fret 2 here, and a finger on fret 2, and this one on fret 1. And this one still remains open. So that's yet another shape for major 7. So what we do here, the first chord in this 3-chord sequence that looks like this, is the first chord we're going to leave off this string and play it just like this. And we do that because the melody note's going to be here. So we just take our hand off of it. And it's a beautiful chord. It's called a minor sus chord. You don't have to know that, but in case you're interested, that's what it is. Very beautiful sound and very common in standards. But then we follow it with the other chords, the 13 chord and the major 7 chord. And again, you don't have to know the names, just remember where you're putting your fingers. Okay, so those are the chords that we're going to use. So let's see how we add the melody. We're going to start here on the 3rd fret, and then open string, and then put your finger on fret number 1, just like that. And no hurry about it because it's a slow song, and then finger here for the first major 7 chord. Okay, so here it is again. And the next part we play this string open. We just walk right up on the high string. And once we're here, we come over here and play this chord, the 7 chord. So again, it's the open string, then go over to the B7, and now we do the same thing, the same melody, and this time we go to this major 7. Now our next melody note, we're going to let go of the chord and play it right here. We played this before, we started the song with it, and then play open, cover it there on the 1st fret, and then this chord, just the 1 string down, and now go to the 13 chord. And the melody now goes here. I'm going to put my little finger here, open, and then the major 7 chord, but I'm only going to play these first strings. I'm not going to play this high one. Because the melody note is this string. And so if I play the whole thing, I'm missing the melody. The melody's right here. So that last little part again, here's the start of it. Then the 13, and then the 3 strings of the major 7 chord. Now, if you don't want to use your little finger, you can use either this finger or this finger, and then the major 7 chord. So then you can just repeat that again, repeat everything. If you want to do it the way I did it, I did something a little different the next time through. Instead of playing single notes on the melody, I often played the entire chord in a strum. So the difference is I went so I'm playing the whole chord and the melody's there, so I make sure I get that melody note instead of first time I play it with just single notes. Next time I play the whole chord. Then continue with the melody, the whole chord, melody again, so either way is good. You can play it with that feathered chord all the time, or just a single note. Either way is going to sound great. And now for the final tag to the song. And we call it a tag because it gets tagged on at the end of the song. We start the melody in the same place, but this time we go somewhere a little different. We go here, and then up here to fret 5. And you don't have to use your little finger. You can use this finger or even this finger. So it's like this. And now we're going to go to yet another major 7 chord, and it looks like this. Now this might look a little familiar because it's the same as this chord. This is a C major 7. But what we're doing is lifting it up and taking a bar behind it right here, up to this place here. So the bar is down fret 2, and then our fingers up here on fret 4. So it goes. And I'm going to walk down to the C major 7, and then there it is. So we've got a lot of major 7 chords in this song. And the major 7 chord is a very beautiful chord, especially when it's played slowly, like this. It really gets brought out and creates this beautiful image, this wonderful sounding chord. And we're using 4 different positions, or four different major 7 chords throughout the song, so we really get to hear that beautiful sound a lot. And this is, I'm playing it with a low G on my ukulele, as I do on all my videos or whenever I'm playing. I prefer to play with a low G. And I think it's going to work with a high G, no problem. It's going to sound okay, but I personally think it's going to sound better if you have the low G on when you're playing slowly like this, because you really get to hear that low string. Or if you have a high G, it's going to sound good, but you won't get that low sound to go with it. I promote the low G, but it's certainly not necessary. I think it's good if you like high G, then get another ukulele and put the low G on it, and you can enjoy both sounds that way. This was just the first part of the theme from the song. There's actually another part that follows it, but I didn't include it because it's a little more difficult. I wanted to create something with some beautiful jazz chords using open position as much as possible, hoping that most of you could play it. The song was written by French composer Francis Lay in 1966 for that movie, A Man and a Woman. Francis Lay also wrote the music for the movie Love Story in 1970. And of course, there's a beautiful love song that goes with that movie as well. Francis Lay has left us with some beautiful music. If you'd like to know more about jazz patterns and jazz chords for ukulele, please come to the website and get one of the Jazzy Ukulele workbooks.